Hello, everyone, and welcome to Camp Randall Stadium in Madison for the WIAA State Championship edition of Prep Rally. I'm Rob Hernandez alongside Jason Galloway and Dennis Semrau. And guys, we finally made it to the state finals, our season finale here of Prep Rally. And for the 14 teams about to play for state championships, the pinnacle of a great season. And 7 divisions, and each of them has an unbeaten team. Some great matchups here. Dennis Semrau, first, let's start with you.
Yes, locally, we almost got Lodi here. We almost got Waukesha here, which would have made it a real special one. But Lancaster coming back 4th straight time, trying to break that that runner-up finish of 3 in a row. And
Jason, the good news for you is after this week, you get to move indoors for basketball.
Yeah, it's really exciting. This is really cold out here today, and freeze my butt off, but I'll push through for one more week.
Well, there was snow on this field after Saturday's Badger game. They've scraped it off. The stands are still snow-covered. We'll see what the future holds, but I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Guys, let's break down the 7 divisions and start first with the opening game on Thursday at 10 o'clock. Owen Withee against Pepin Alma. The unbeaten team there, Pepin Alma, their first state finals appearance. Owen Withee's been there 3 times, guys, but this is their first state championship appearance since '99. Back then, only 6 divisions. They were Division 6. Dennis, what do we like about this matchup?
It's interesting. A lot of times at Division 7, that first game, we get a running clock in. A team gets a turnover, things kind of just flow, and then that's what happens. This one, with a first-timer, I just don't know what to expect. At kickoff time, it's probably going to be wind chill factor about 0 in the teens, taking care of the football primary.
Don't worry, Jason, it's really not that bad, but your thoughts on Division 7?
Well, there's a press box, so I guess we'll be okay. But yeah, I think this is the only matchup. You mentioned there's an undefeated team in every division, but this is the only matchup where we don't have a number 1 seed in the title game. And but I think both these teams have been playing like number 1 seeds. They've been really impressive throughout. I think Owen Withee only has 1 close game the whole postseason, and Pepin Alma doesn't have a single close game. So I think it's 2 great teams playing their best football of the year. And Dennis mentioned this game has had a running clock in the past. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a close game.
Well, we shall see. That's the first game on Thursday in Division 7. Division 6, the first local team, the Darlington Redbirds at 12-1, taking on Fond du Lac St. Mary's Springs at 13-0. These 2 teams met last year in Level 4. Darlington won that game 28-13 at Middleton to get to Camp Randall, where they lost in the state championship game. But a lot's changed in a year, Dennis, and these Darlington Redbirds, they're looking pretty good.
Definitely, and they had to have a late stand to hold on to get here. Anytime you can play a close game before you get to state, I think that really helps you here. And you look back over, Rob, there's a long history with Darlington. Doug MacArthur, the former coach, now the principal at the school.
Yes.
I think they're going to get back on the winning track. I look for the Redbirds.
Well, and Jason, the winningest coach in state history, you probably haven't had a chance to meet Bob Highland yet. He's quite a character, but 412 wins now. He was denied number 400 last year in the state semifinals against Darlington. I'm sure that'll be brought up this week in Fond du Lac.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Yeah, I mean, this is a great program that's been here before. Fond Springs has held 11 of their 13 opponents this year to 7 points or less. I mean, this defense is one of the best in the state and in really any division. So I think it'll be really interesting to see if they can stop Darlington's rushing game. They've got 3 players now with over 1,000 yards rushing on the year and 12 or more touchdowns on the ground. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup, and I'm looking forward to it.
Another one in the battle of the trenches. Of course, Fond du Lac Springs 4 WIAA state championships, 8 state championships as a member of WISA. So one of the storied football traditions in the private school ranks in Fondy Springs against Darlington, which has had a tremendous run of its own. Guys, in Division 5, the late afternoon game on Thursday will feature the Lancaster Flying Arrows back for the 4th year in a row against the unbeaten Amherst Falcons. Their 2nd state championship appearance, of course, in 2012. Amherst got the best of Lancaster 19-7. And Dennis, I know it's been a theme, get the Arrows back here and no more silver.
Right, and you look at who they went up against last week, St. Kate's. They hadn't given up a point, and you look at all the points that Lancaster did right away. They scored and took it from there. I think that experience is a major factor. I don't know if they're going to score 80 points here. If they will, If they did, it'll be shades of check the sidelines to see if Paul Chris maybe snuck back into town for that one.
Well, and Jason, 3 silver balls in a row is nothing to sneeze at, but at the same time, this seems like a Lancaster team that's built for gold.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're going to be hungry too. I mean, 3 silver balls in a row. They're not going to want a 4th silver ball. They're going to want the gold. And this is a Lancaster team that has scored 39 or more points in every game this year, except for the one game they lost, which they already avenged that loss in the level 3 of the playoffs. So, but Amherst they've scored 30 or more points in every game too. This is two powerful offenses going against each other, and I think this could turn into a shootout. Could turn into a really, really fun game.
I think fans will be surprised at how much athleticism is on the field here for a Division 5 matchup on the carpet at Camp Randall. Switching to the Division 4 state championship game, the one in prime time over the 2 days, 7 o'clock Thursday. We've got Somerset at 13-0 against Little Chute at 11-2. Somerset, the one unbeaten team in the field, 6th time that at Somerset has been to the state finals, 3rd time in 4 years. First state championship appearance for Little Chute Dennis Semrau, but they come from the Eastern Valley Conference, some larger schools in there like Freedom and Appleton Xavier with good traditions. I would look for a pretty competitive game out of Little Chute.
Yeah, definitely. After what happened with the Lodi game, they pretty much dominated. They had some turnovers early, and then Lodi just could not get anything going offensively that whole second half, and I think that was a credit to Little Chute. So even though it's their first appearance, I think they're ready to roll.
And Jason, the Somerset's won titles in Division 4 and Division 5. They've had 3 runner-up finishes, and they're the unbeaten team. And they came through a tough area of the state up there in the Great Northwest. What do you expect out of them?
Well, I think they'll be the favorite coming in as the number 1 seed. But they like Little Chute, they were trailing in the 4th quarter of their game last week as well. Little Chute had come back from the 20-0 deficit. I think for both these teams, when you have a game like that, when you in the playoffs, when you had to come from behind and win, I think it's a big boost coming into this game, state title game like this. So I think we'll see both teams' best football.
All right, the final day of the football season will be on Friday, and the 10 a.m. game will be the Division 3 state championship game between Rice Lake at 10-3, Wisconsin Lutheran at 13-0. 6th state championship appearance in WIAA for Wisconsin Lutheran, but Dennis, they're first since 2011. When they've been here, though, they've been good.
They have, and you look at their season, I think from day one, this is a team that was meant to be here. And Reedsburg, we thought might have had a chance a few years ago. Remember when they were runner-up?
Right.
They upset them. Not this time. They scored early and often. It was 28-14 at halftime, and then they came right out in the second half, and I think with an exclamation point. So you look at the Little 10, they dominated that league. They played some pretty good teams in it too. But I'd have to say Wisconsin Lutheran, again, one of the unbeaten teams in the field.
Rice Lake, Jason, a smaller school and a bigger conference, but they haven't been here since 2004, and they've only got 1 state championship to their credit, 1979, long time ago, 35 years. What do you expect out of Rice Lake? Can they hang with Wisconsin Lutheran?
Well, they've got a great running game, and that's going to be the interesting thing to see if they can keep up with Wisconsin Lutheran, because they're going to be major underdogs, like you alluded to. Wisconsin Lutheran comes in here as the number 1 team in the state for their size school, and they're going to be the big favorites. And I don't know if Rice Lake will be able to keep up, but it'll be interesting to see if they can.
All right, that's the 10 a.m. game on Friday. In Division 2, the 1 p.m. state championship game pits Menasha, first time here at 13-0 against Waukesha West at 11-2. Waukesha West wins the Division 1 state title in 2010, won in Division 2 back in 2004. The co-champions of the very powerful Classic 8, and Dennis, Joe Schobert, the Badger linebacker, has the Division 1 state record for single-game rushing on the same field where Melvin Gordon went off for 408 last Saturday. So a lot of good karma here on this field for Waukesha West.
I think Schobert to be here to watch this.
He will be en route to Iowa, so he told us in the Monday press conference he will not be here, but he was wearing his 2010 WIAA State Finals sweatshirt, his hoodie.
Well, I'll tell you, when he was here, he looked like he'd be a future Badger and the star that he is this year. I tell you, Waukesha West, they took out Wanakee, which really I think surprised people during the year. Jason, I know they were that close to getting there. They had a last-second field goal that just fell short. But Waukesha West, again, I think you look back, the body of work, what happens during the season, they're prepped for this.
And Jason, Menasha, though, one of the several games last weekend that came down to a 2-point conversion try in the last minute to get to 13-0 and get to the state final. They beat Mequon Homestead 8-7. That's got to be a tremendous boost for them getting here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, both these teams won by 1 point last week, and most of these teams we've seen get to the state finals have taken care of business in the early rounds. They've blown out teams, but these teams, I mean. This is the 3rd straight, 1-score win for Waukesha West. It's the second 1-point win of the postseason for Menasha. So I think, both these teams know how to win close games, and I think if it comes down to it, we're going to see a great finish.
All right.
Well, I think Menasha, you look at teams with a chip on their shoulder. Everybody thought Homestead would be the one to be here, and now we'll segue into Arrowhead.
Well, Arrowhead is the team that everyone thought was going to be here, as it was Kimberly. The matchup that we've been waiting for about 4 or 5 weeks now is finally here. Arrowhead at 10-3 against Kimberly, 13-0. Division II state champ against Division I state champ. What a way to end the 2014 season.
Well, I'll tell you, I was talking to Scott Swanson yesterday about Kimberly, and he said there were guys that, Coach, I don't think I need to go in on this one. Their subs were better than a lot of team starters. Yeah. So Kimberly has been poised here. But again, Arrowhead, those losses during the season don't mean anything right now. This is a team that's a 2-time defending champion. They want a three-peat.
And Jason, can Kimberly keep up with Arrowhead? Can Arrowhead keep up with Kimberly? That's the big question.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, Kimberly's looked like the number one team in the state all season. Arrowhead's won 7 straight games since the poor starts of their season with a few losses early on. But, I think Kimberly comes in here as deservedly as the favorite. And I think Arrowhead's going to have to be the one to keep up with Kimberly.
Well, it should be a great 2 days of football here at Camp Randall Stadium. WIAA state finals, and you can follow all the action on our live blog on WisconsinPrepZone.com. And we'll have complete coverage of the 2 area games and stories and updates on all the other games here over the 2 days at Camp Randall Stadium. Well, that's our final prep rally of 2014 for Dennis Semra and Jason Galloway. I'm Rob Hernandez at a very cold Camp Randall Stadium. And thanks for watching Prep Rally. If we do see you at the stadium, dress warm. See you later this week.